Hey, welcome to the Pen Man. Today I'm going to be showing you this pen that caught my eye because it was different. And I think I zoom that out a little bit. Mentioned in one of my latest videos that I kind of got it on a kick to where I wanted to show some pens, buy some pens, use some pens that were a little bit different and different shapes, especially if their prices were low. You know, how good of a pen can you get for a very cheap price, for $4, $10, etc. And I saw this pen, and what really caught my eye was the clip, the ukulele clip. Now it's a long neck to this ukulele, but and I thought, okay, yeah, I play guitar and I do know how to play the ukulele, although I don't own one anymore and therefore don't play one, but musical instrument. I just thought, you know, let's check this one out. Okay, this is the Jinhao Tiandao 1935. And this pen retails for around $14 US. Okay, the body is acrylic, both in the clear acrylic and then the red acrylic on the body finial and the cap. The components are gold plated, probably brass. The body shape is straight and then tapers slightly at the body finial, and the cap is ever so slightly tapered toward its finial. The finial on the body is pretty basic. It's just flat at the end there, nothing fancy. Has this gold band at the bottom. If you're a fan of red and gold, this pen does it. Coming up to the cap, you have this clear portion on the finial, and inside you have that red mat, if you will, with a gold star on it, and then a gold band around with a washer style clip, and then the ukulele. The clip has some decent tension. I mean, it's not, I think it's very usable. It's not too tight, but it's tight enough, definitely tight enough to get on your, to hold in your pocket. I would be concerned about, it doesn't feel like it's going to bend out of shape if you keep an eye up there at the top of the clip. You really don't see a ton of movement, so it's not like it's bending at that point too much. So there's a lot of movement down here, but not a ton up there. So this is and it's a solid clip. Let's see if you can, I'll get under there and try to get that focused in. So you can see that it's a one-piece type clip. It's not bent metal, but so yeah, it's kind of nice. You probably will need a little bit of assist getting it over a shirt pocket, but that's okay, right? Because you know, clips that are sometimes too easy to get over a thin shirt pocket probably aren't going to hold it in very well. All right, when you look at the band, it says Jinhao, then the Tiandao, and then the number 1935. Okay. The cap is, the mounting for the cap is threaded, and it takes 1 1/4 turns to get that off. So excellent. This is a cartridge converter pen. And the nice thing about this is look at the size of that cartridge. I mean, the thing is huge. It's kind of like the 9019 that has this huge converter, I should say. The 9019 has a converter very much like this style, only larger, but this is definitely larger than your standard international cartridge. However, standard international cartridges and converters will fit in here, so it won't be a tight fit around here. It won't be snug, I should say, but they will fit, and they'll be protected. You're not going to knock them loose. But I really like the fact that Jinhao has put these larger converters in at least a couple of their pens, and then on the band there it says Jinhao. But so a nice ink capacity converter on these are metal threads here, and then you have a gasket there that just kind of snugs this the body up onto the grip section. Now, I think technically if you wanted, you could probably eyedropper this pen, but for crying out loud, with as much ink capacity, and I know this is metal, so there's that debate, but with the O-ring, and then put some silicone in there, because the threads are tight enough. It really doesn't wobble too much. I mean, once you start getting toward the end, it will, but you get like that, it doesn't. That's more me wobbling. It wobbles a tad, but you tighten that up, and with some silicone grease and so forth, this would not leak if that's what you wanted to do. Maybe just for the fun of it, try it, I don't know. The nib is a number 8 size nib, and this comes with a medium point. On the design on it, it's a little bit different design in that that I haven't seen on Jinhao nibs, but this one has some cross swords up there at the top, and then it has the Jinhao chariot underneath that, and then it says Jinhao, and then under that an M for medium. Is it postable? Yes, and it does post securely, but it is very back weighted. I mean, you have a lot of metal in there. The cap itself is acrylic, but with this solid clip here, and then you have the metal up in the finial section, and then you have the band there. It is noticeably out of balance here. So, but the pen is big enough to where I think most people will be able to use this uncapped, and then you can just hold the cap and fidget with it. This is the only style in this Tiandao series. You can't even really call it a series, and it's just red. That's all you get there. The dimensions are similar to the X159, so I'll just go through a couple of them that we tend to wonder about. The length of the body from the nib tip to the body finial is 128 millimeters. The body girth is a nice 14 millimeters, and the grip length is a short 15 millimeters, but you have the threads here that really they're not sharp at all, and you really don't, I mean, you kind of notice them, but they're not uncomfortable. So the grip length is 15 millimeters, and the girth is 12.5 millimeters. So a nice, this whole pen, if you like a girthier pen, this pen works for that category, and it's got a nice weight. You have enough with the acrylics in the body grip and finial sections. There's enough that lightens up the weight, but then you have that large converter in there and a lot of metal components right here to house that converter. And it just has a nice balance. The overall weight, and granted you got this cap, but the overall weight is 33 grams. The body is 17 grams. And again, just like the X59, it is the same. The body weight is the same. All right, how about some size comparisons? All right, here we have the Jinhao 1935 Tiandao. Then you have the Jinhao X159. You have a Twisby Eco and a Lamy Safari. Here they are, uncapped and posted. All right, how about a writing sample? All right, we have the Jinhao 1935. This is the Tiandao. This is a medium nib. The ink is Diamine Crimson. This is a nice, smooth nib. In every direction. Very nice. Line variations. Yeah, you can get out some there. Not a ton, but you can do it. This is a wet nib. As far as reverse writing, there's some feedback, but not too bad. If you rotate it around, you get it, it'll smooth out just a tad, but it does the job. Gives you a extra fine line there. I would call it, personally I'd call that an extra fine, especially compared to that being a medium. All right, so it has some good flow. I didn't show that feed earlier, but there it is. Not your standard plastic nib or plastic feed, but it's a nice chunky one there. All right, how about some final thoughts about this Jinhao 1935 Tiandao? All right, as far as pros and cons, no real cons. I guess the only one that might be there, if you like to post, this is back weighted, so that won't work for you. And perhaps the limited number of colors. It would have been kind of neat if they would have done different musical instruments with different color combinations, but I don't know, like a violin and maybe guitar versus ukulele, but whatever. So that might be a con, I don't know. The pros, it has large ink capacity. It does have a different style clip there, little music style. So if you're into music, even if you don't play the ukulele, it's kind of neat there. It's got a nice nib, nice wet nib. It's a robust size. I like that about the pen. I'm not a fan of real skinny pens, and I don't really cater to the huge pens, but this is a good size, I think. And when it is unposted, It is very balanced. I like the way it feels. So overall, I think for what, $14, I think that you are going to enjoy this pen. Like I said, if you're looking for something that has a little bit of uniqueness to it, different from the ordinary, and that's what I was kind of out to do, is try to find some of those types of pens, and especially at nice price points. You know, this one fits the bill. And so there you go. Hope you enjoy it. Here's a couple other videos to check out, and you have a great day.